Hey guys, so last time you were here with me, I drove the Audi A4. I said I was going to go get an A5. So here, today, here's the A5. A5 Sportback. It's a little bit different than the A4, but let's compare them. See which one's worth it, and which one's worth your money. Alright guys, so let me close this bad boy up so you can hear me better. Even better. And we'll close the privacy curtain because we're in an A5 and you don't need to be sunburnt. You can have all the amenities you want and still have the power to blow somebody's doors off if they think they can compete with you in a race. But here we are, guys, the long-awaited. Is an A4 better than an A5 for everyday use, or should you invest and just get the A5? So let's take this guy out on the spin and we'll see what we can do. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I like doing everyday cars, some supercars every now and then, so stay tuned for stuff like that. But honestly, everyday cars can be pretty fun. And if, once again, you are new, please like and subscribe, hit the notifications so you're up to date with all the car knowledge, all you fellow gearheads out there, as I am one of you guys. I love cars, love to compare them, talk cars, and have fun. So, once again, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and if you have any suggestions of cars that you want me to do, any suggestions on what should I try next, where should I go, that type of thing, feel free to leave a comment and I can get back to you, or hopefully just read the comment and do the video you guys would like. So here we are. So I'm going to take this A5 pretty much on the same test that I went with the A4. Now the interior of this A5 is super similar to the A4, almost the exact same design. The A4 I drove did not have the massive moon roof like this guy does. Which is, you know, to some people, you know, you don't really want to get your hair messed up, but with me, my hair's running away, so that doesn't bother me. I'll just get a sunburn on the top of the head, and yeah. But yeah, that doesn't bother me too much. The interior is really similar to that A4. It's almost the exact same as the A4 we tested and drove, and we liked the A4. We gave it a good score. Hopefully I can put the A4 score down at the bottom here of the screen, if I can remember that. I don't remember it right now, but hopefully this one does a little bit better. It's a little bit more expensive. The A4 we drove was about $51,000. This one's $53,000. Now the difference here is they're both premium plus. You can get this guy at the top of the range. That will be pushing close to $60,000 from the dealer. But you're getting about 250 horsepower. The premium one, I believe, has a little bit more. And then once you get into the S5, that's a whole nother monster. But, you know, we're looking at pretty much the same car. The difference here is this is the Sportback. We got the swooping line, so we have 4 doors. A normal A5 typically is a coupe. And that's what they've done in the past. They've only done 2 doors, 2-door coupe. But this guy is a 4-door. And I personally, you know, if you want that, I think it's a great idea. You get the kind of looks of a coupe, and coupes typically, in my opinion, look a little bit better than 4-door sedans. But you get the looks of the coupe, but you get the general workability, everyday life of a 4-door. And if you actually do end up hauling people around, there is still room in the back. And if you have kids at this point, there's still room for kids. Once you get into some of these tall people, I do not run into this issue since I am coming in at about 5'7" here. Once you get above, I would say, in my opinion, close to 6 foot, you might run into some headroom in the back seat there. But, you know, just sitting here, I do got a little bit of space. I am as low as I can in my seat here. I do have a little bit of space between my head and the top of the car there, so when it comes to headroom, we're not scratching our head on the top of the ceiling here. I'm going to take this thing on the highway just a little bit so we can hear that engine pop. Because it does have a throaty little engine that, you know, if you're in traffic, if you're doing this everyday commute, the everyday boring life, this can wake you up in the morning at least, and give you a little bit of life before you go to the office or before you go to your hourly job. I really do love Audi. There's nothing really else that feels like an Audi or Mercedes or a BMW at the moment out there in this type of price range. They feel so sturdy, so connected, and so strong. They feel put together correctly, and that's the German engineering when it comes to it. We're looking at 4 to 5 star crash safety rating, so you know, if you do actually, you know, hit something or something like that were to happen, yeah, you're gonna be hopefully you'll come out okay on the other end here. I'm not too sure what it'll be like for the other guy. Here we go. I'll give it some revs here. You ready? And we're at 60 already. Well, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. It makes you smile. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, it's nothing like a sports car, but we're in just an everyday A5 here, and I think that'll wake you up some days if you really need to punch it. Get out of work and really show your coworkers that you're better than them. And that's what this car kind of feels like. It kind of gives you the na boo boo, I'm better than you type of feel. And Audi kind of has that flair. It doesn't have it as bad as, in my opinion, the BMWs or Mercedes in some of them at this point, but Audi does kind of give off that look, you know, look at me, I can afford this, move out of my way Toyota, move out of my way Jeep, I'm coming through Nissan, watch out, that type of vibe. Which sometimes you need that. So this engine is a 16 valve, about 248 to 255 around there. This is the car I have, horsepower version that I have here. And the transmission on this car is fantastic. It's the double clutch transmission, and this thing really makes just 250 horsepower feel a lot more than that, way more. Now this car, we're looking at 16 valve, about 250 horsepower. The Premium Plus version I have here, the 2019 Audi A5. This car has a great transmission. Truly great. This thing makes only 250 horsepower feel like a hell of a lot more. You can really get up and go. It wakes you up. It makes you alert. And for 250 horsepower, that's not the most. You know, you see a lot of cars nowadays with more than that. But with 250 horsepower, this car still gets close to 35 highway, about 28 city. And I'll be honest with you, that's not bad at all. That's decent. That's pretty good. That's better than a lot of cars I've driven my whole life. So, one of the cons of this car is just the dardiness of the steering. It feels very twitchy. Now, when I'm over here driving, there's a couple different dynamic comfort and normal settings that you can do when you are driving this car to kind of switch up the feel of it. Once again, we'll give it some horsepower. There we go. Yeah, we left them in the dust back there. Okay. Anyways, makes you smile each time. So, back to the dardiness. Now, this car really feels kind of darty. When I'm over here, if I feel a bump, if I feel a twitch, I'm, you know, really kind of adjusting quite a lot with where the nose of this car is pointing. I'm keeping it in line with what's going on, but there's definitely a dardiness that you feel with this car. You feel the twitchiness. You feel that This is a little bit sportier than the average car. This is a little bit sportier than your average Camry, your average Nissan Altima, or your Ford Edge that you see everybody driving nowadays. This wants to be driven, and that's what I felt when I was in the A4 in the previous video. I felt that this car wanted to be driven. Now, I appreciate that because I actually like cars that are driver's cars. And this feels like it. Now, this also does have the technology that you can, you know, put it in comfort, put the transmission in comfort, and you can put the steering in comfort as well, and really just kind of lay back and drive just like any other person out there. But if you actually enjoy driving and you have to work a day job, you have to have a 9 to 5, you have to have a little bit of comfort and stability, maybe you're driving your kids around, this is pretty good. This is pretty good in my opinion so far. I don't have too many complaints about it. I feel safe. I feel planted. Yeah, I can't complain about this car so far. Which I would like to complain, because it's more fun to think some things are, you know, here's the problems and what they could do better. For the price of this car and what I'm dealing with here, I think it's pretty good so far. Let's see, I'll give it another intersection here, and we can really test it out. All right, and here we go. You know, I wish I could do that for longer, but in these kind of residential streets, I'm going up to the speed limit here, and we're getting there so fast that you don't really get to enjoy the sound too much. But it is what it is. And this is the Audi A5. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I personally think that this car is a winner. I think that this car is a 9 out of 10. For the price, for what you get, the quality, the true horsepower, the feel that this thing gives you, the amenities, the safety, everything above, I give this a 9 out of 10. So let's put that down in the corner here. 9 out of 10. I think this is a buy. If you are okay with the space, if you're okay that you don't have that many people, you're not driving them around too many times. If you have kids, an A4 I think would work better. But if you're a single guy, maybe have a little baby, stuff like that, kids that aren't tall, if you're a smaller family, shorter people, I think an A5 is absolutely worth the money, in my opinion. That's what I got for you guys today. Once again, like and subscribe. leave a comment in the comments there. I'd love to do some other cars. If you have any that you prefer for me to do, leave them down there, and I'll try my best to get to them as quick as I can, or respond back to you if I can do that, or if I cannot. So once again, like and subscribe, and hopefully I can get to you guys' cars that you like. Thanks. Bye-bye.